talk radio, music, and podcasts from the Korean Peninsula. KoreaFM.net.
The Busan International Film Festival made headlines in Korea and abroad with news of its chairman's resignation, as well as a show of support from industry professionals halfway across the world. I spoke with the veteran film festival member and film critic behind KoreanFilm.org to learn more about the recent staff changes taking place now that Busan's mayor says he will step down from his position as the chair of the BIF Organizing Committee.
My name is Darcy Paquette. I'm a film critic and I work for a couple of film festivals in Europe, and I'm a longtime attendee at the Busan Film Festival. It's hard to tell if there might be something going on in the background that we don't know about. From the festival's position, it looks like a bit of an olive leaf in the sense that by stepping down and giving over his position to a civilian, it sets a precedent so that in the future, the city will have, less power to block decisions being made by the festival. And so in the long term, this is a good thing. At the same time that he announced that he was stepping down, he reiterated the fact that he doesn't want the contract of the current co-festival director, Lee Young-kwan, to be renewed. And, from the film industry's point of view, that was somewhat problematic because he's not really the one who should be deciding that, from their point of view. There may be the makings of, a peace agreement in this if, the charter is updated to ensure that in the future that this position is held by a civilian rather than the mayor. But it's a little bit too early to say that right now. It's pretty much agreed by everybody that the thing that started this was the screening by the festival of a documentary about the Sewol tragedy called The Truth Shall Not Sink with Sewol, or Diving Bell. And this was announced by the festival in 2014. And then after this election was announced, the mayor expressed his disapproval. And so he's not usually involved in programming, but there was this conflict between him and the festival. And the festival went ahead and showed the film over his objections. And there's been a conflict ever since. And to some extent, it's a personal conflict between the mayor and the head of the festival, Lee Young-kwan. But a lot of other things have been brought in. So there's been an audit that's been placed on the festival. During the audit, they came up with some irregularities, which, supporters of the chairman say are fairly slight, but it's, caused other issues as well. And so they've recommended to the authorities that they investigate that.
However, despite the mayor's resignation, Korean film expert Darcy Paquette says the city could still have a large hand in the festival.
The city is the festival's, biggest sponsor. And so, certainly it will be possible. There will be this continued relationship between the city and the festival. The venue in which the festival is held, this very expensive and beautiful Busan Cinema Center is owned by the city. And so, going forward, it will still be possible, I think, for the city to exert some pressure on the festival if it comes to that. It's an open question of to what extent they'll continue to support the festival financially, whether they'll continue to, really be a major sponsor of the festival or to dial that back if there's some kind of conflict in the future. But what the big change with the mayor stepping down is that the mayor can no longer veto decisions taken by the organizing committee. And, such decisions are, for example, the renewal of the festival director's contract. Currently, as he holds his position, he can veto that decision. After he steps down and gives that to a civilian, then the city will no longer have the power to veto those type of appointments.
And just days before Busan Mayor Seo Byung-soo announced his intentions to resign from the organizing committee, the Busan International Film Festival also received messages of support from an international group of film industry professionals gathered in Europe. And I spoke with a French film producer who was present at the event.
My name is Isabelle Glachan, and I've been going to the Busan Film Festival for the last 10 years, either introducing finished films or attending the film market with project I have. During the Berlin Film Festival, there was an event that was organized either to show their support, their love, or their worries for the Busan Film Festival situation at the moment. Mainly at the event, the people that attended were either film festival representative, so there was several people representing the Berlinale, but there was also the director of the Venice Film Festival. There were people from the Cannes Film Festival, from smaller festival, but there was also film critics. There were producers like myself, many different types of people, but all people that are from the industry and that are doing either the same type of work at the Busan Film Festival or that are attending Busan, and for whom Busan is an important event. Either to discover new Korean films, but also a place where we can get together and showcase and defend and support Asian cinema or just cinema.
And while Busan's mayor has been the target of much criticism, BIF supporters in Berlin chose not to focus their attention on him or any other individual involved in the dispute.
The get-together wasn't to be against anyone or against any organization. It's to say that the Busan Film Festival should remain free to decide which films they want to show, that the theme of Busan should remain as it is, and that no political or struggle should force the Busan Film Festival in changing anything that they've been doing. So the international intention is to support this festival. They need to be free to do what they feel needs to be done for local films or international films during the event. So it wasn't exactly to be against the mayor or the city. Is like the open letter that was written a few days later by the director of the Cannes Film Festival, is to say that we support Busan and we hope that there'll be a way to get out of the crisis. And the only way for us to get out of the crisis is for Busan to remain as it is with the team that they have and with the director they have.
For KoreaFM.net, I'm Chance Dorland.